Okay, gentlemen, let's call the meeting to order. And as per usual, identification of ourselves for the record would be useful.
Zelko Commercial Executive Director.
Ken Stevens, member.
Mike Carroll, member.
Bert Coates, member.
Jerry Brown, member.
Tom Gillen?
Mike Shanley, attorney.
Gary Ammo, a member. I have three things to say before we start the agenda. One is I've given everybody just 2 copies of articles that have appeared in the last couple of weeks. One from the Post Standard and one from the website that the Zelko sent me the information. These are both referring to the Port of New York and New Jersey, and they are really good reads, especially the one, the 4-pager. You'll be astonished at what you see, or what you read. And the third thing, I'm just reminding people, May 15, you have your financial disclosure forms that are due in Albany. Yes.
Terry, question for you. When you do it online,
Yes.
they don't send you nothing, or how do you know it's...
They notify you when it's finished.
I will email you.
I sent them mine. I did it online and they send you a notification that it has been accepted.
I didn't get anything.
I'll give it to you. I'll send it to you.
Understood. Just want to confirm I did.
I will send it to you before
Thank
And also for future reference, they did require, even though I didn't come on until June of last year, they required my prior declaration, for 2012. So I took care of that.
All right. You will see there's just a link. You just click on it and the form will come out. And then you can fill in the form.
Which I did, and it updated from last year's stuff. But I didn't get it after I submitted it all. I didn't get any acknowledgement.
Oh, I don't know. So you sent for 2013 already?
I did 2014
Yes,
Yeah, but it was for
and 13s. I did, right? The one you just got.
13.
I just did 13s, and I completed it all,
Okay.
but I didn't get any kind of acknowledgement that it was completed.
They will get to you. They will.
Okay, understood.
They just keep track of it.
And
Okay.
2013 is due before May 15th
May
of this
15th,
year.
that's all I'm
That's-
telling you.
okay,
They're
okay.
due by May 15th. And you can do it online. You can't save that, but you can print it off.
Which I did, I should have.
But
It should save it right in it.
yeah, I got mine
there.
saved that says you have completed it.
Yeah.
The last page was, and I took that and I emailed it
But I
there.
mean, the online,
Yeah, I'll get with you, you can look at it.
the online form, you cannot save it as it's all filled in.
It saves itself, because I went back in and just added the one you did the year before.
Which I did. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
You have another 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 things I wanted to say. You got 2 good reads that give us, as much as anything, a clue into how not to do something. My prediction is there's going to be some prosecutions which can get very nasty.
For total.
The agenda, item 1. Motion in order to approve the consent agenda. What we should be doing, we should be doing all along, is we get a motion to enter into a discussion, and then we go into the discussion after we've had it. So a motion to order to approve the consent agenda.
So,
Second.
Mr. Carroll and Mr. Stevens, he had his finger up even though...
Actually, I had a question. Will I be able to ask questions about?
That's exactly right. Now,
Yes.
now it's on the floor for discussion. Does anyone have any question they want to ask about any item of the consent agenda?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have comments as well, but go ahead.
I hate to be the person that always does this, but
Warren's not here, so you might have to take over.
accounts payable. I'm assuming that the Moffett and Nickel thing is in the process of
Yes.
being.
Yes, we called and we're in the process of paying that bill. It's an insurance matter. And what they were waiting for, so you know, is we call the insurance company, they were actually waiting for us to commence bidding operations. They were afraid we wouldn't get the money for something else with it. So the insurance company has received, in fact, we're out on the market for bids for the marine improvements. And you'll see it out there, and the insurance company should use that money. And we're on top of that. That's something that's an embarrassment.
I had no doubt that you were. It's just, it was mentioned last month, and I just thought I'd.
Thank you very much.
Just to remind you, we're continually operating at a disadvantage if we can't have any control over it. And we're working on the end of March 31st.
Okay.
So we're weeks after that, after the numbers are on the date.
Moving down accounts payable, Rebel Oil and Construction, those amounts have seemed a little bit high to me.
All right, and
I'm sure you'll have a,
what's happening there is, that's the trucking of Novellis. Novellis hasn't paid us yet. Once Novellis pays us, we pay Rebel.
okay.
And then,
Go ahead.
accounts receiving, I think that's something that's a pet peeve of mine, of course, accounts receivables. We are, there's a Tom Allen, and we have straightened that out. Again, we have straightened that out in April. It doesn't show March 31st. Driving, diving, there's an item to that effect, but basically that 7,000 has been reduced by 6330, and there's an item to lay finance charges that's going to appear before you. There's other items in there. A lot of these are voters. There's another item with, that we're after, and there's a traffic bureau, which is one of the moving companies, $442.81. That's a finance charge. There's an item before you that we don't discuss. That's on the regular agenda. But there's another item in here, McKeel Marine, which is 61 to 90 days. That's a big 47.90. They pay 43.40. Again, they refuse to pay the finance charges. So those are the type of items that are before you. But there's another large item, traffic bureau, 66 025. They're paying 5714, which is this coming next week. So we will make some large dents into that.
I have one question. I guess it's just basically because it's current for identification. Who is Crop Production Services? Above Dryden Diving, a couple.
Yeah, I see them. I don't know who they are.
That's our, that's what we go for the loading out of the corn and for our grains.
Okay,
That's,
them.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all about to
Yes,
us.
yeah.
Okay, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, no changes or required explanations are unsatisfactory. All in favor of approving the consent agenda as proposed?
Aye.
Opposed, it is unanimous. This is to item 3 and 2, Executive Director and Administrative Services Report, Exhibit C. You'll notice that these two are coordinated to a single report.
And there's a story behind that, and I want to talk about that story, basically. And then I would view it as a management success. And I don't think you're going to see these two separate reports anymore, but you're going to see a unified report. It's I would call it a new age of management here. Scriber and I have been working together now for a couple of months. We are seeing more and more as a team, and I discussed it with them, and there's no longer a need of separate reports. We both agree we're a team effort, and it says a lot between the two of us. We are working together on issues. We come in after hours. As a matter of fact, I made him drive our Tucson out there. So he's I don't want to appear that there's two management signs here. We're one unit, and we both getting comfortable with each other more and more, and we both agree with your indulgence, until such further notice. It's going to be a management report with both the team, and there's no need to separate the functions anymore. And much to some people's chagrin, we're working really well together.
Good to hear.
Hi, Dave.
And good day. The traffic was right. So to that effect,
Can I just make a comment about that?
Yeah.
I was told by Bill today that he's, it is scary how much he and Zelf will think alike, even to the morning. They have the same flavor, they like the same flavor of coffee.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
No, look, I mean,
I'm serious.
we'll discuss something in executive session. We are really, and it's good. I have empowered him in certain things, and he has performed really well. And that's all I'm saying.
The Italians have a word for it, is simpatico.
Yes, it is.
Other people might have different words.
But, and again, I'm going to give him credit. I mean, marine operations, we opened the marina April 15th. You're going to see some new faces down there. We are new services down there. I urge you to look at it. We're getting some quotes and some stairs. We're going to beautify that hill down there. The mayor's team and I are in discussions about paving. I have to find out.
Discussions, yeah.
That's fair. And we're going to improve that area down there. We're looking at improving some docks in the marina, adding additional services, mechanic services, fiberglass repair services. And we were in, I think I mentioned it during the budget season, we are actually, as of today, actually you see a two-tier structure right there. We're automating some of the functions down there. And there's folks that are our members, that are our tenants, who are going to get one price for fuel, and folks that are external, we get another price for fuel. We are still maintaining all prices from last year, but being very fair, unlike the old companies. We bought that gas cheap. But come this Wednesday, as a matter of fact, deliveries tomorrow, it's going to reflect the new price. You know, and it's what the market is. I mean, I'm not controlling the market. But things are going really well down there, and you're going to see some tremendous improvements in the next couple of months. As far as scanning and archiving, we have started scanning our files, archiving our files. We have started automating some of our processes. We have started, in fact, we now have an automated purchase order system where the paper doesn't necessarily flow, it flows electronically. Internally, and it comes along till it gets approved. So it's working. It's up and running. We're scanning paid tickets right now, but we'll be scanning more and more files. All of that will be online. It's available on computerized. It's search functions. The staff has been trained. It was a day-long training session, so that's up and that's actually occurring, and that is. Just to remind you, it was a grant that we received, so it's fully funded by a grant, and it's going to save us a lot of time, a lot of money, and most importantly, make us more efficient. I'll be able to actually search for it and find it, versus ask somebody what it is. So that's going to benefit us a great deal. It's going to make this modern, if you will. The MBE compliance update, we're doing extremely well with the MBE compliance. And we had the utilization close to 43%, which is record for us. We seek them, we make sure that they do the job correctly for us. We're quite pleased with our performance. Safety training, again, I got to give credit to Bill Scriber. He's our safety officer, and empowered him. And we wanted to empower Bill. And then we put him downstairs, we train the longshoremen. Every month we have a safety program down there. We have a couple of people that come in, and we pay for them to get trained. Last month I think it was proper lifting techniques of all things. Yeah.
This is going to be a monthly program we're going to do?
Yes.
Who does the training?
We have our insurance fund, the state fund actually comes down, the state
They are like OSHA people?
it's New York State actually. They come down, and then she does a really nice job. I mean,
Do we have to pay a fee for that? No.
That's why I like it. That's why I like it.
It's training to be cognizant of OSHA requirements.
Yes.
Right.
I mean,
Way
it's
to avoid damage, hurt.
Something attached to an iceberg,
Yeah.
attached to an iceberg, something like that?
New York State insurance.
No, is it kind of an official certification they get?
No, it's actually our insurance. Insurance.
I'm just thinking,
So there's less and
Yeah.
fewer.
if there's some kind of a certification they've taken and training, then we've got some kind of
Yeah.
certain consulting.
Yes. Yes, by taking these steps, we save money overall. We were deficient. With this, I mean, if you recall, we had some issues with our safety record, and our premium bumped up.
I'm just thinking liability, because if they need to be certified in something, then who's certifying them?
Yeah, it's the same insurer, that's the insurance fund that's doing the work. What this does is it would lower our premium eventually, it would lower our out-of-pocket costs eventually, and they're the ones doing certification. They're the ones pointing out safety issues for us.
The insurance company,
New York State,
New York State Insurance Fund.
So, basically, decreases
I know how
the
the
risk
state
of
works.
injury. Oh, yeah, there you go. It
Wanna make sure.
decreases the risk, so therefore your premium should drop. So
Should.
we're saving money there, and nobody gets hurt, we're saving more money.
So far, the training we've done, we've watched, we trained.
yes. Yeah, we did. I mean, we had lifting training, we had, some people take it more seriously than others. I mean, something is a joke, it's not a joke,
they throw you back out.
Until you get hurt.
until you get hurt. It's rather important, and what she did was, she did a fabulous job. She just stood up here, actually filmed some people doing things improperly, and then she showed it downstairs, and she's really talented, and she's hard to argue with when she shows you examples. She just did something wrong, and it was really nicely done. She didn't single them out, but she just did it very professionally. And we keep it to about 30 to 45 minutes. That's about the attention span that we have. And then we give facility and so on and so forth. And it's been working rather well. We're going to continue to do it. And the price is right, and the output is right. The outcome is right. So
Just one quick step backwards. Does the state require us to have a certain percentage on MWBE?
yes.
What is that, 20? Is that our goal, or?
Our goal is 20%. And
And what do they require?
about 20%.
20%?
Yeah, and we've been doing better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing much better than that. So that's going on. The grants, and these are the grants that are listed. And I have Bill working on these. New York State Department of Transportation Passenger and Freight Rail Assistance Program will create integrated transportation information for inventory control, tracking, integration with Novelis. I met with Novelis. What this does is basically track all the aluminum, where it is. Novelis, as sophisticated as they are, they rely on us to tell them how much aluminum, what type that we have. And what this grant would do would actually computerize the whole thing. They'd be able to read it on the ground and rely upon the system to track it. Port Security Grant, 2014-2015, design and integrate access control and screening system which will allow authorized persons into the port center. It's more than a security grant. What I'm trying to do is automate the trucking, automate the whole building process, but I am going to do it under the auspices of Port Security. The minute the trucker comes in, he's going to be timed. The minute it's timed, what he picked up, what he left, and I'm going to tie it into our financial system. But it's under the auspices of Port Security, and we're probably seeking one of the largest grants out there. This has been done elsewhere. This has been done in Miami. This has been done in Tampa. This has been done in New Jersey. It has been done elsewhere under the auspices of Port Security. We know where a trucker comes in, we know where a trucker when he leaves, and what he leaves with.
On follow-up to that, are we tracking that now by the officers that are out there in the front?
We'll talk about that, and it's one of the security enhancements. We're tracking it, but we're not tracking the volumes, the independent systems.
That's
It's
the
all
question.
manual.
Okay.
One of the things I'd like to ask about that, is there any way that we can move some of this grant money into wages and uniforms and training for the security people? I mean, how many security people do we have?
They're all part-timers right now.
It'd be nice if we get the rates up to $12 an hour, give them a hat and a shirt. and-
Down the line we will.
Some training.
Down the line we will. Right now, yeah. They do get training. I mean, as far as training, we had a training session on them. And then, again, they do get training. Again, I'm trying to keep costs down.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean.
Well,
right
what are we
now-
paying, 9? 8?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep costs down right now. As they get more responsibility, yeah, I will. But that's a play bump. I mean, right now, they're all part-timers out there. What I'm actually doing is,
Baby pictures, I'm sorry, let me
Yeah.
take that jacket
what I'm
out of
actually
here.
doing is, what I'm actually doing is working with the.
Brand new baby was born.
I'm actually working with the Border Patrol, and I'm looking actually to enhance security of professionals. And I have met with,
I apologize.
I have met with border security folks, and I have met with customs folks, and these people already are officers of the law
Yeah, they're federal.
with the federal, and I can tell you this response has been positive, and I like the cost.
To use them,
Yes.
really. They aren't doing much else, they probably should. They really check green cards, that's all they do.
I'm not going to disagree. But, and you know what, they're a good asset, they're terrific because they have some of this federal intelligence, and we keep them abreast of our vessels, and they're good folks. They come with equipment, they come with security equipment.
There's tons of money there too.
There's lots of money there. And we'll open our facility to them, that they can actually come through it. And
We
so,
could use some of that Homeland Security money to train people and upgrade them. I'm sure you can get it.
you know, okay, I'll go after some of that. I'll go after some of that. So, again, good stories. I mean, we're going to get.
Security people with others?
No, it's, I'm sorry, when you stepped out, basically, the Border Patrol, they have a large presence out there. I'm going to encourage you, I already have met with them, I'm going to encourage you to participate going forward. You're going to see them next time, you're going to see them patrol the area. You're going to see them patrol our facilities. I'm going to also give them access to the Port Expansion Center, the Hannibal site, and the Oswego Intermodal Center, the Gibbon site. And they're going to have access to all of that. I'm going to go up and down roads, I'm going to inspect them. And believe it or not, we do catch folks that do wander in, and most kids at this time, but we do catch folks now, and we have an occasional fisherman that wanders in, and caught one that wandered into our barn. So we are going to get quite serious. I don't know if you noticed, I didn't ask you tonight, but we are in the visitor tags. We have started a visitor program, keep an eye who comes in. And so we're slowly rationing up security to the point. I'm not going to do your facility. I mean, you guys, because you guys have reasons. But
They have them in and out of here all the time, so excellent.
yeah,
Excellent
so we are
choice.
going to do that, and we are going to be, and we are already right now. It's the visitor system, and many folks that come see it. Keeping that tab on comes in.
They're often in here when we are unloading ships, like when I was here before on the security force, when they were unloading aluminum ingots, the Border Patrol would come in occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally. Now they're going to be even more than the right guess. They actually have a key fob, they can enter anytime they want to. So that's a good thing. I mean, equipment focus, we did a bid, it's a complicated bid. In fact, you'll see, I'm going to have to pull the item, I'm not ready for it. It's not a simple, straight bid, it's quite a complicated analysis. We've been looking at it now for about a day, and it's not cut and dry. These guys really went after the business, and it's not as easy as we thought it would be to pick a winner. It may be multiple winners, and we have some ability to make some choices. We our BRFQ gave us some ability to make some calls. So it's right now it looks like we may have one manufacturer for a smaller size, and we may have another manufacturer for another size. We try to keep it all in the same family for the maintenance purposes. But if we have to, we're trying to look at a cost-benefit ratio to see what's the optimum for the authority, and that's what's taking us in time. I'll ask the chairman, I may call for a special meeting. This equipment means so much to us in terms of our loading capability. And I will discuss some other matters later on as how this performance last week. But we did rather well. We had a ship in Saturday, and I'll tell you publicly, I told you before that we anticipated the ship being here in 24 hours. In fact, it was gone in 14.
How large was the work?
What?
How large was your work crew?
It wasn't so much a work for, I think it was a combination of management, it was a combination of pep talk, it was a combination of doing things
More efficient?
Procedures?
maybe my way,
I heard that.
as Frank Sinatra would say. And
I haven't heard about it yet, but I can hardly wait.
That's why we hired you, though.
and perhaps the other guy wasn't too happy, but the customer was happy.
In the end,
The customer was really happy.
they're the one paying the bill.
Yeah. And we have a activity report that's in this separate sheet. Basically, that's what we've been moving. We've been moving some aluminum, Chapagura, you see that. Purdue has been moving quite a bit of soybeans to the tune of 280,000 bushels outbound. Inbound 110,000 bushels, outbound 175,000 bushels.
Now, the citrus pulp, is he no longer going to bring it to this port?
Not right now.
Not right now?
Yeah, well, I'll bring up to speed what's going on with that.
Okay. I know that was a fairly large component last year.
With the aluminum, I can't tell you, the aluminum, we have become, I'm actually surprised how much of a integrated component we are in Novelis. I mean, we get daily calls for a particular alloy that they want, and we are literally just in time, to the point where we saved them this past weekend. We opened up unexpectedly, they ran out of a certain product, and we opened up in 2 hours. And that's not customer service, I don't know what it is. Within 2 hours, you have people on the ground, people downstairs, and we delivered close to 500,000 tons to Novelis. So I was properly invited for the team by the manager of Novelis over the weekend. So he was quite pleased. So that's that. You do have a Port Strategic Master Plan proposal before you. That was the presentation that you all received by Martha Nickel. It's right before you. So they were quite detailed in the development. They did exactly what you asked them to do.
What do you want to do with that now?
I would like you to study it, and perhaps, basically it's $220,000. They asked for the proposal. I mean, I like to read it, and I like for us to discuss it in the next meeting, which is in May. I mean, I was led to believe that this is quite important. It's a roadmap, and I just would like some feedback. One of the things that the chairman and I were discussing whether or not we enact a board committee to give us some guidance. I mean, what they have done is basically, they did a market competitive assessment, forecast, they did facility inventories, they give you a complete plan for this. I mean, they have workshops, they have, Martha Nickel does this for a living, they know exactly what they're doing. It's a big plan. I'm not sure how big a plan you all had in mind. I'm not sure if you want to do it phase-wise. It's a lot of money to spend. In the end, it'll be worth it. And I'll reserve my comments afterwards. Just read through it, see if something is missing, and we can discuss it in the next board meeting.
Okay, everybody want to spend some time, look this over?
It's something that was discussed when I was hired. It's something that you all mentioned that was rather important.
Zelko, in your opinion, do you feel that what they put together is a realistic plan for the Oswego Port, or do you think it's a little bit optimistic? Do you think we can meet, the services that they're...
Could I interrupt? Just-
Yeah.
I think it'd be useful for the board members to read this independently without any about any comments from Zelco?
From Zelco first.
Beforehand. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have anything, obviously. And
That way you're not biased and you're, you know, you're.
Read it first, see what you think, and then.
Well, there's some, when we get to the point of discussing this, there will be some serious questions that we need to know. How can we finance this? Can we, what are the procedures from grants to loans? I mean, so, but I would not, I would caution against reviewing this knowing what the dollar amount is before the fact. I would rather, but I haven't read it myself, so I can't say one way or the other what my feelings are. But it seems to me that if you bias yourself, wow, this is expensive, then that immediately casts your line of thinking in a way that may not make you completely objective. So I think
I would agree with the chairman. You know, I think it's something as a board member, and of course I have an opinion, I will give you an opinion after you read it. It's a roadmap, and it's a roadmap that hasn't been done for this board.
I did read it, and my biggest question was, you had already touched on, I could repeat it.
Yeah.
all right, good. Okay, good. Any other questions? Okay. I would recommend that you read this before you read the stuff I gave you to read. You gotta make a choice. Okay. Next item on the agenda is a new business. There is no, excuse me, is there an appointment, is there a report from the attorney?
Nothing for the general.
Nothing for the general. So, old business, none, new business. This gets into a number of items that need to be considered. The first is consideration of approval to enter into an agreement with Windstream Communications, and that is Exhibit D. And do you want to explain?
Yes, what this basically is, this is a part of this intermunicipal cooperation. Mission Communications has been selected as a low bidder for the county. Mission Communications is a local entity out of Fulton. They also have their major think tank based out of Rochester. And I've been trying, the county has continued to be delaying for other reasons, their implementation of the system. And I didn't want to get into that. What this does is, and I cannot compare ourselves to the city. This phone system that we currently have is not very customer friendly. It's, and I know it's better than what you have, Mayor.
I didn't even use it for
but we're still left behind. We don't have the ability to communicate via personal phones. I can't share calendars. Right now I'm running a manual calendar, and I can't send mutual emails. Patty and I coordinate every day, which you're used to, Mayor, but I'm not. I make double appointments. It almost happens routinely, to the point where I'll make an appointment, she'll make an appointment, and I have two people sitting outside. It's not so much about me, it's about the whole port. What this will do is concentrate everything to one provider. But right now we are running on the internet site that's basically, more or less, it's a home provider quality. I'll say that, and I'm being kind. I have nothing against cable internet quality, but we're basically running on the same bandwidth that you're running at home. What this will do is bring fiber to the building. They'll bring in a large pipe. Pipe is basically communication amount. And the pipe will be what they call an intelligent pipe. It will size itself according to the load. They provide pretty much everything in here. It's a PBX software, IP phones, conference phones, switches, it goes on and on and on. It's a full system. 800 numbers, IP addresses, toll-free numbers, long distance. It's a full package.
You have PA system too?
No PA system.
Can this system be used to upgrade or enhance our security system?
Security system we prefer more or less to be
Closed.
closed, and I don't want it on internet as chatter.
How about backup for cameras or anything like that?
Let's go back. this will be backing up. This will also tie us to the marina. Right now, the marina ourselves are two separate entities. This will all make a single entity, and the beauty of it basically is, technically I could have signed this on my own, but I didn't. I chose to bring it before the board. Net, it costs us the same what we currently pay out. And I had the mayor here. Yeah, I had the mayor in here, and even the mayor was so intrigued. I think we invited him over to the city hall. And we're not paying anything more out of pocket, but we're getting a lot more. I mean, it's incredible.
We're not paying any more.
Out of pocket monthly.
For
So
what we
we
have
just
now,
have to be upfront.
we're not paying more for what we have now. If
No.
we get this,
No.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's not just did it for information purposes. There's no out of pocket. They're financing. They're actually eating half of it. They're actually subsidizing half of it. And we're paying over time.
This is what you think this will do the job? This is what you want?
Definitely.
Cellco's been complaining about the phone system since January 6th.
They're actually financing it as part of the fee. And actually, in 60 months, the price will go down even more.
Yeah, it's a
It'll go
no-brainer.
down another $100. So it's an integrated package. I mean, we can't wait for it to commence, provided you approve it.
Need a motion?
Yeah. This is what it's- yeah. What's this? We have all different services now. We have Verizon, we have cable, we have Spark Solutions. None of it is integrated. Now we have one umbrella, one person responsible. We're allowed to go to a local provider,
Yeah.
right here.
So we'll be out of Verizon.
Yes.
Now, there's one thing I wanted to ask about, advanced managed router charge. Does that mean if our system breaks down?
No, that's managed router, but that's, the router is what they call self-throttling. It's an intelligent router. This is more of a load, what we're going to do is able to manage priorities on a router. Whose priority is the security camera? Everything, all our security cameras, everything will go there. Each function gets assigned a priority. It has limited bandwidth, the pipe, and it assigns priority according to quality. So it's an intelligent router, they call it.
Okay.
It's very sophisticated. We don't have anything like it right now. We have a guy next door who trades corn on New York Stock Exchange, or basically over home internet. Now that we have this, he'll be a lot faster when he buys. He hits the button, he'll get it, versus the delay. So they're rather excited as well. The beauty of it is the net, it's the same. I think we're,
Is there installation cost?
they'll eat all of it.
So, it's all
No
finished.
problem.
They want the business.
They want the business.
I have a question, page 2 of 4. Quality of service cannot be guaranteed outside of the pay-text network. What does that mean?
It's must be good attorney. No,
Just curious.
no, we have sampled the quality of service. In fact, I'll tell you, Pathfinder Bank just installed their service, and they have just put it in. It's a catch. The trolley network, you have a limit. It's a 50 megabit network. If they'll put too much of a limit, they'll start shedding services, and we assign the shedding component. And we assign certain.
But we're part of some network.
Yes.
Okay. But if we go outside that network, then the quality may not be.
Yes, and they can't guarantee Canadian quality. They cannot guarantee long distance phone calls by somebody else. That's what they're saying.
Just curious.
Yeah, long distance, can't guarantee.
Something outside of their network, at the end of their network, they can.
We're quite excited to get it. We're so excited to be part of the modern revolution. I mean, I think
The city gets one, do we get a commission?
if you do get a reference,
Right on the back.
yes, I think you get an orange or something.
What is our bottom line cost per month?
1,400 and
96,
yes.
73?
Well, that's actually.
What's this $50.05 non-reoccurring? Then you've got a minimum monthly of 16.
That's the only installation charge. Was it for another line?
For another line, yes.
Okay.
Oh, another line.
Yeah. Backup line.
Except the tax line too?
Yes.
There you go, Tom, get the same deal for the city.
Well, we'll work.
Tom, I mean, I'm not sure how big a load he has, but I
We'll
think.
find out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll surprise you. I mean, I'm not sure what your costs are, but they'll gather all the information, they'll go through it, and I think you should get perhaps even a better deal than he did.
We can.
Need a motion?
Yes, the motion is in order to accept this purchase order agreement as specified on page 104.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Carroll? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Think it'd be time, cancellation time?
You done, Jerry?
Thank you, yes.
As far as the timing,
How long would it take to set it all up?
It'll take a couple months, it will be a couple months.
Okay.
They will give us a timeline once we sign, get the back, and they will set us up with a timeline.
I mean, I signed it right now, I did not release it
Right.
pending this board meeting. I mean, I signed it just to keep them interested, but I did not release it pending this meeting tonight. If you guys approve it, I'll report it.
Which they
So
understand.
they're basically on hold pending this meeting.
No pun intended.
It's no brainer.
Yeah, I know.
The next item is consideration and approval to enter into a lease agreement for forklifts. You said we're going to withdraw that?
Yes, I'm going to withdraw that, we're not ready.
They're still trying to find the very best offer. Exhibit E. No, it's E. No, it's not exhibit E, it's just motion for final. It's just entered, there's no exhibit for the forklift. They have, the bids came in so close, there's still negotiating between the submitters. They can't give you a recommendation.
It's not a clear cut, so
I'll just.
withdraw. They may call for a special board meeting, and you're going to get awarded, so the chairman calls you, that'll be the reason.
All right? We might have a,
Most likely as well.
okay, most likely, okay. That'll be sometime next week.
Yes,
The following Tuesday, the following Monday.
I know.
So it would be next week. When they get the final numbers, they need the stuff, but we're not ready to submit a particular price for approval. Next item. With consideration and approval to waive the late charges on past invoices for Dryden Diving Company. So I'm going to explain this. This is Exhibit E. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
I mean, basically, driving Diving Company is asking for you to waive $682.10. There's other entities out there. There's also Traffic that owes us $447.81. If the board would recall, we did pass a policy basically that I don't have a power to waive any late charges. They're here before you, and that I think has served me well and enabled me to collect a lot of debt. And I'm only happy to tell them if they want something, it will be heard publicly, it'll be on tape. And if they can afford us to pay $682.
How much is the,
The actual bill, I'm going to look at that, yeah, I'm just,
Apparently Dryden Diving Company lost Patty's email.
how long have we been assessing?
Yeah, it's, yeah, I mean, it's
From
amazing.
Debbie's email.
Yeah, it's amazing the kind of excuses we get, but, it's, they paid 60, the total bill was 7,000, they paid us 63.30, and the rest is finance charges. I mean, I have an opinion, but,
It's like 10%.
yes, yeah, it's actually very reasonable.
How long have we been assessing?
Look at the train of emails. We've been, we have, we're,
Well, I see that Debbie made some efforts at collecting, but how long have we actually been assessing?
close to a year.
A little over a year, I think.
Yeah.
So we put these folks on notice a year ago that if they didn't pay,
They lost it in spam file, they lost it in the drug, the homework, the whole 9 yards.
It was all done through email, so I don't believe there was much done verbally over the phone as far as.
but I guess my question is not so much the invoice is, when did we put them on notice that they didn't pay timely, they were going to have finance charges? How long have we had that kind of
That I
policy?
can't answer, I don't know.
Excuse me?
That I can't answer, that Debbie would be the one that would be able to answer that question.
I can tell you what we do now, since I came in. I cannot tell you what happened a year ago. Obviously, I wasn't here. Now we have separated some of the functions. Beforehand, and you were part of that phone call that we had. We actually can discuss it later. Before, you had one person doing a lot of things. Now we have separated some of the functions. And I've separated accounts payable, I've separated accounts receivable, so I have individual folks. I have a 30-day policy, and after 30 days, that woman starts calling people up and starts emailing. Zero tolerance. And now it's her responsibility to go after her. Commissioner, I cannot tell you what she did a year ago. I wasn't here, obviously. I hope, this is when I started asking questions, this is the backup I received. They're not doubting that they're owed, they're not doubting they didn't receive it. They're just asking whether or not you want to waive the finance charges. If you ask me for an opinion, I have it, but...
Do we use them for other things, or is this just a one-time deal?
Yeah, we
No,
got
we use it for other things. It would behoove them to pay the finance charges, to be honest.
And that's what they're gonna have to do,
Yeah.
my opinion.
Well, it's not our area that the invoice ended up in someone else's junk folder. And they didn't pay.
I think part of the problem was is that they billed and got paid. Now they gotta eat $682, which they might have passed on.
If that was open, I'm sure they would have passed it on and paid us without
Well, right.
any question.
But, it's we all make those errors, and, we face up to them, and it's...
Business.
It's a business. That's my 2 cents. I would say no, waive it, but it's just...
Is this the only client that we have in this situation?
No, we have others.
Well, should we
Commissioner,
be setting a precedence if we were to
Yes.
forgive?
yes.
Then the next time around, well, we'll sit
I
back
have
and not
traffic,
pay a
you already
dime.
had him.
and-
Listen, you need to understand that this has to be done in the form of motion. That's where he has the authority to...
I agree. I mean, you have a whole bunch of people here that it becomes routine, that they come before you, you're going to remove all our power. And I would tell you, I don't think that's necessarily...
So move it, Terry.
So the motion that was presented on the agenda was consideration and approval to waive late charges on past invoices. So the motion would be to consider and approve. And if you defeat that motion, that's not an approval.
$682.
So the motion would be in order
We
to,
want it back.
Can't fail for lack of a second.
it's much better if you vote on it.
Yeah. I'll second it.
So the motion was to consider and approve the waiver of late charges to this company, whatever it is.
Dryden.
Diving Company. Motion, the motion?
I made the
All
motion.
right.
I second.
Mr. Kerr, Mr.
I need some
Silverhorn.
clarification.
We're gonna say.
Go ahead.
To clarify what I'm not quite sure what
The
you're doing.
motion was to approve the request. If you do not approve the
Motion is
request,
to waive.
that's,
You vote against
the
it.
motion is voted against, then you've not approved their request, you
No.
denied their
All
request.
right,
We approve it, you're
It's in
giving
the
up
positive,
$682.
the motion is made in the
late
positive
charges.
venue and it's defeated.
okay.
I have one thing, if it does pass, there should be something also that this is a one-time.
Right.
So,
And then,
concerns that it's not setting a precedent.
And I think that's what not to put my thoughts in the commissioner's mind, that's what he was asking, if
I would make that a second motion.
the staff feels rather comfortable that they will give him good notice. Dryden Diving is not denying it, he's complaining about some of his own, workings, and, it's,
They found it.
they found it after we told them where it was. So, it's,
Any further
This
discussion?
is how old, this is a year old?
yeah.
Over a year old.
How big of an outfit is this?
Over a year old. Is there
How
any?
big of an outfit is Dryden
Oh, they're
Diving?
fairly large, we use them quite a bit.
And so,
Again, you told me to bring it before you, so it is.
Further discussion? So we all understand this is a motion to approve and authorize the payment of this late fee. All in favor of that motion?
To waive the fee?
To waive the fee? All in favor of that motion? I'll oppose that motion.
Aye.
Opposition is unanimous. Now, okay.
Patty, traffic bureau hasn't formally asked, right?
Correct. Not to my knowledge.
Traffic area what?
There's one other
I
customer
read it.
that hasn't paid, but they haven't formally asked him for this motion to be voted.
Understood.
So,
Next motion is to consider and approve to submit an expanded Tiger 6 grant application for funding. There's such a motion. Can we discuss
And
it?
let me share with you where we have, we already have,
We can do discussion first.
yeah,
Right.
sorry.
Yeah, right.
I'm so happy to have the board, for the Tiger 6, we have put in the expansion of the intermodal site. And the Tiger 6 would basically pave this area and improve the area that will allow us to, it's intermodal, basically multi-cargo. So it's a limited amount of money. I think we stand a very good chance. And I think it's a wise move.
November 2012.
To put into that particular grant. And as the policy states, for every grant application that I submit, I have to put before you.
That's what we can do, but the grants need to be approved. For authorizing. Got to try at least. Yes, right. Everybody understand? This is the authorization of this grant application to go forward and secure funds to do this project.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the, this message about Center State CEO and adding it to the CFIA round?
I mean, that's, I think that's coming up actually.
All right. Need a motion for it?
Yeah, need a motion.
So move.
Second, Mr. Carroll, Mr. Brown. Right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next resolution is, the next item is the consideration and approval to submit port security, 2014-2015 grant.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm wrong, I'm off one. To submit the New York State Department of Transportation Passenger Freight Rail Assistance Program to create an integrated transportation information system for inventory control, tracking, and integration. This was, we discussed this a little bit in the previous meeting, for inventory control. Will you explain that?
Yeah, but then basically, this is what we talked about beforehand, this is where we would improve our inventory control, computerize what goes on out of here, so the customers actually know what they have on hand in the facility. Right now, it's all done manually.
Plus, we also know what we have on hand.
Yes, yes, and right now we have to basically do everything manually.
Take a lot of time.
Yes. And again, the fact that it's a grant, it's out there, and this is something I did discuss with Novellas and Purdue, and they really welcome it.
Okay.
I motion for approval.
Second. Mr. Brown, Mr. Smith. Any further discussion, any explanation, any further explanations needed? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Unanimously voting in favor of. Then we're going to start. Port security grant. This is a consideration approval to submit a 2014-15 security grant. So I've already talked about it a little bit. You want to explain just quickly again, briefly?
And again, it's going to be control of truckers, control of inbound customers. It's all going to be computerized and directly into our system, so we don't have two different systems running. The minute the particular the truck gets weighed at a scale, the minute the cargo leaves, it automatically gets noted in the direct QuickBooks system. I don't have to wait for two different programs. It's all integrated.
So it will interface with the QuickBooks.
Yes. And that will enable us to issue out bills quicker. It eliminates manual reports from the downstairs to upstairs, but we gain a lot of time.
Makes sense. Let's see if it makes sense to them.
Is there a system for monitoring the vehicles of the employees? Should that be included in the security system?
I'm sure there's a system, we haven't got to that yet, but I'm not sure what you have in mind as far as monitoring.
Keeping track of things, I guess.
Maybe we can discuss that.
Yeah.
I would say, in the last 5 years, we have we've seen just tremendous security improvements on our site. And I don't envision that's going to come to an end anytime soon. So we're going to be looking for security grants for years, and this will get more and more and more integrated, more secure. And the feds will likely spend a lot of money to maintain that kind of security. Okay. Was there a motion to?
Not yet.
Okay, we need a motion to submit this grant. Okay. Mr. Coates, second. Mr. Stevens. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. And the last item on the first page of the agenda is to consideration to approve. The consideration is to submit a USDA rural development grant to fund a grain conveyor system. Would you explain that?
Somebody can do it if you.
I can explain the program.
Explain what the desire is.
The desire is basically is to improve, reduce conveyors, and right now we're antiquated and limited at best, and then the Commissioner Schumer was good enough to point us to this grant, and he actually helped us out a little bit,
Well, generally speaking, the court is an eligible entity to apply for this grant funding.
Is
eligible. Is eligible.
I thought you said
I'll just take them now. The court is an eligible entity. Yes. So the court is eligible to apply. The deadline for submission is,
Coming up.
no later than generally May 1st. Well, that will allow Bill to have a month to receive some input from the process in Congress.
You need notified by the grant coming?
Generally, the folks that are processing it are aware that it's coming. I got an email this morning asking, pointing out that they haven't seen it yet.
Good.
Given the nature of my dual duties, I've arranged to have a process from another office.
Yes.
So the staff person is in Pennsylvania, and given that information to Bill, they just let me know this morning that they haven't seen anything yet, but it's not really technically due yet. And rural development is a little bit different than some of the other federal agencies. They welcome the discussion, the improvement. Bill's first submission will get their critique. They'll tell him what they feel might enhance the competitive nature of the grant, and then it's up to him to either make the changes, or sometimes they're not possible, but they will give in some general guidance on how it might be improved and become more competitive. And that process will wrap up finally in mid-June with notice to the successful grantees probably by the end of June.
Wow, that's good. And it's very quick. It's a good grant. I mean, we take.
We succeed.
Yes, it's a great grant for the local farmers, and it's a grant that I have spoken to Purdue about matching with their investment, and with their investment, our investment, we can make some real large improvements in the agricultural side of our business, and I can tell you a little bit more about it later on as things progress. But it's very promising. We do thank, and I will publicly thank Commissioner for bringing it out to our attention. And conveyor systems are extremely expensive. it's important that they're well built, and it's, the current one that we have is, it's not working. I mean, that's just leave it at that.
Time to get the light saddle, the whip, and go
Yes,
fiber
yeah,
the gate.
that thing needs to go down, and I'm just gonna remove it from its misery.
That's been outside for years, it was used for elderly grain, and it got all rusty and corroded.
It wasn't right from day one, and it just
Probably ran stone and salt and every other.
Yeah, it just needs to go down. It needs to be removed.
Yeah, it's gonna come down.
But we do want to thank him for bringing that out to us, and we do appreciate the sensitivity of it, and he has been rather above board on the whole issue, and kudos.
How old is that? I'm just curious, is that ancient?
It's, I'm told it's not that old, it was misdesigned, I mean, it's ancient, not to say ancient, but it's about.
Better technology.
Much better technology.
Well, it's about 10 years old.
10 years, it's about 10 years old, that's it. It has,
It looks much older.
it's,
If you put corrosive material through it,
That's-
happens to your car, and you just get out and.
that's exactly what happened to
It's
it.
rust. All the gears rust, everything.
Wow.
I mean,
In
fertilizer
order to make a
itself,
motion, I'd make the motion.
Motion's in order to approve the submission to the USDA Rural Development Grant.
I'll second
Stephen, did you get any further discussion? All in favor of approving this submission?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Okay, abstain.
There's not, there's one abstention, I apologize for not asking for that. And that's for obvious reasons. Does everybody understand the obvious reason? Next item. The resolution to apply for funding through the Northern Regional Border Commission for funding.
and basically it's the same sort of a grant, we're looking for some security improvements, we're basically looking for any money we can find out there, and we're not shy about applying for it. We obviously have a need, we are expensive sites, and we are applying, in this particular grant, we're applying for about $100,000 worth of security equipment, radio equipment. And we're hoping we're successful, and this is perhaps where Commissioner, you were asking if we can do some more technological advancements as far as security communications.
Okay.
Is this the one that I referred to Bill?
This is, we have already been awarded a grant from this Northern Regional
Yes.
Border Commission for security before. This is a small organization of northern bordering states along the Canadian border. So the pool, the applicant pool is relatively small because the geographical area is relatively small. We've already been successful in that, puts a plus in our siting equation too, so.
So I so move it.
Mr. Carroll, move the approval of submitting such an application. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Sternhorn, any further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. The last item, number 5, is a request for sponsorship donation by the Oswego Yacht Club.
And basically, you have the letter before you, and I just noticed you didn't have my comments there before you. We didn't see the original letter, so I apologize for my comments there.
Well, it's okay.
I can point out what had happened before, because it was the first time the organization's done this. I remember last year there was a request for the Lake Yacht Racing Association. If you recall, it was the first time they had a yacht, had a race at this end of the lake in near a century. And the original Lake Yacht Racing Association was co-founded by 3 Canadian yacht clubs and in the early 19th century, and the Oswego Yacht Club. There were 4 original yacht clubs that formed this organization. And so the yacht club approached us from a historical perspective and
It-
but we donated $1,000.
Yes, and that's what they're asking for this year. In fact, we had a meeting with the Commodore and the Vice Commodore, I believe, is the appropriate term. We had a meeting in my office. We told them of the expansions that we're, the construction that we're doing in the marina. And the program was quite successful last year. They were quite understanding. I believe it's a benefit to the city.
Oh, absolutely.
And we feel it's appropriate. The folks are very nice and flexible. It does draw in some foreign racers, and I'm sure the economic impact is.
They spend a lot of money.
It's $1,000.
The
They spend a lot of money in the city.
They do, yeah.
The EYC is a big deal. They only come down here once in a while.
Do we have the capability with the personnel we have to provide the services they're
Yes,
asking
sir.
for?
Yes, sir.
We do.
We have done it in the past. We were
Okay.
quite successful with it.
We're also requesting a reduction in the flat rate. What is that reduction?
Sorry.
There was something.
$225 a boat.
Flat rate of $250 per boat.
Yeah, we actually charge a lot more.
That was my question.
Yeah,
How much more would it be?
And it's,
So it's not more than just 1,000.
yes, it's in, but, it depends on the mast, and it depends on the mast that we, 250 we break, that's basically break even with that cost. So, and I think we can charge up to double that.
I'm a landlubber, let's put the mast in the boat,
Stuffing the mast is raising the mast up. Unstepping it is taking it off. and
We're basically breaking even.
they don't sail here, they.
That's fine.
No, they'll trailer it in.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many boats would need their mast stepped and unstepped, but some of them are relatively small. It accommodates a variety of vessels.
Wow, it costs $250 for
Yes.
mast in.
Depends on the length of the mast. It might be $1,000 for a big one.
Isn't that the tradition where you
That's why
take
I
a silver
don't sail.
dollar and
Yes.
put it at the,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, very much.
or a doubloon or whatever you happen to have at the time?
Without losing money, last year, I'll tell you honestly, I spoke to Bernie Bacon, which is the marine guy, and last year we did, most of the boats actually sail over. So we offered the service last year, I believe it was 3 or 4 boats that actually took us up on our offer. So it's not a big issue.
Not a lot.
Not a lot of issue.
Most of the boats do sail here.
Most of the boats will sail directly.
Most of our lightnings aren't that good.
No,
Well, they put
30,
bigger
35.
than that.
But they're real big boats, and those guys come across, and those guys come
These are
down.
serious guys.
And
Although the
this is-
smallest boat they sail in that is probably 24-foot J and everything. And they're 35, 40 footer.
Well, there's 6 yacht clubs representing Canada, so it would be a good time to show the brotherly love from Oswego and all that stuff.
And
Yes.
I can tell you, these people really like to come to a new venue.
Last year, it was incredibly successful.
So what are we providing?
$1,000 and $250 net mast
We're
step.
charging, we're not providing anything?
Well, $250 is a reduced rate.
Yeah, it's right.
I get that, but we're not spending any money to put this on.
No.
Okay.
But we're
$1,000.
$1,000.
They're
It's only
asking for
$1,000.
Yes.
Yes, sponsored by $1,000. I mean, yeah, we get publicity for that. So.
And some of the vessels who will sail over here,
Business
they have a
people.
chance, they'll come back and sail and visit for.
Be nice to put up a welcome sign too.
They're gonna put up a banner.
Right here.
Yeah, we did throw up our banner.
It's all listed what we
All
get for
listed stuff,
$1,000.
It's not bad.
That's a no-brainer.
So moved.
So move, oh, second?
Right, Mr. Carroll, Coates.
We do have one additional item, and Patty's going to hand it out to you. And we are coming up in our construction season.
Thank you.
And we have applied for a line of credit.
Did we have a vote on that?
No, we haven't voted on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous? No further discussion?
This is.
This is a new, this is an item that,
Yes, you did.
it's just come to the floor since we all got our agendas. This is a procedure that is being requested that we authorize to obtain gap financing during this construction season. If we have a bill that has to be paid and we don't have money in the bank of our own accounts, that we can secure a line of credit loan which then gets paid back. The arrangements have already been made with the bank.
Correct. And what this does is we
But
met,
they need a signature.
right, and what this does, we met with the federal folks, we met with the state folks, in fact, we met with them today. So we met with all those grants that we've been successful in obtaining. What this does, believe it or not, the federal folks are actually very quick in reimbursing you. The state folks are a little bit slower. And the state folks take up to 45 to 60 days to reimburse you. A contractor cannot wait 60 days for his money. They don't do well with that. And what this does is enable me to borrow money if necessary. If necessary, we're going to try not to borrow money. I mean, we do everything we can. But if we have to, in order to pay a bill, we will do that. I've been to both banks. I'm not trying to be prejudiced. I will really go to a third bank if I can. I don't to seek what rates that we can. In fact, I believe Key Bank was probably more aggressive than Pathfinder in this instance. And
Fixed rate or fluctuate?
it's market rate. Yeah, and
How's that line fee, or is that's all part of the information you're looking to solicit?
yes, that's part of the information. Hopefully, perhaps somebody decides it. And but
And what kind of term do you anticipate? What are you asking us for? A
it's
year, or 6 months, or?
a year, less than a year.
Basically, authorizing you to sign the document that.
But you'll have successive, or potentially successive gaps. You
Yes.
anticipate that 1 year, a 1 year line of credit in duration will be sufficient?
Yes.
This money is paid back when we get paid back for the money that's already laid out for the project.
Do we have the bids yet?
No.
Are you asking for 2 or 1?
Yeah, both of them.
Is this something we should take action on now, or should maybe we wait a month to find out what our bids are and find out if they're gonna come in under budget?
Well, until you start drawing, you're
Yeah.
not paying.
Oh, you're not paying it?
No,
This is just a
no,
line
so
of
that's
credit.
a line of credit,
So
so it's
there's
there
no
if you need
setup.
to
Yeah,
cover
yeah,
the
if you need
expense
it.
before we get paid.
We're not borrowing money, we're being authorized to borrow money in
On
emergency.
occasion, they ask for a fee upfront.
And I'll share all the terms.
Okay.
I'll share with you'll see them while I'll see them.
You see this as a necessity for
Yes.
operating?
Yes. Particularly given our
We
conversation
can't,
yesterday.
if we get a bill from a contractor, he's gotta pay his people, we don't have the money, we have to pay that bill. So we get-
I've been there and done that. I've been running around the contractors before trying to make a week's salary, so I know what you're talking
This
about.
is just to keep them off our back, we owe them money, but somebody else has money to pay them.
My goal is not to tap into it. That's the last thing.
We don't pay interest on anything until we use it.
Yes, right.
Right, yeah.
It's like a home equity line of credit.
And I'll share.
It's like a home equity line of credit.
There may be. Depends on the terms and conditions, whether there's an upfront fee or a fee.
I'll share all
Right.
that. I'll share all that with you.
So you're looking for credit amounting to $1 million or?
500,000 from each, so it's about $1 million. Don't forget, we are out, this is when you combine the marina, when you combine the railroad, when you combine, we're close to $10 million. So 10%, which is,
Just to allow us to pay.
and, you know, I would have no objections if you guys actually make me if I tap into it, I report to the board. I mean, I would have no objection to that, as making part of the requirement. I don't want to tap into it. I don't want to incur additional costs. I'm very cost sensitive, and I don't, I would only do that, and I can report to the board if I do tap into it.
It's just a
We do
safety
it.
net.
It's a safety net.
Been there, done that.
It's a safety net. I don't, one thing I don't want to do is stop the contract right there. I have a work construction window. I have not worked to stop the contract.
It's not for, no.
If there's time, can we get you to notify us before you tap into it?
I have no problem with that at all. If you
Just-
make that a
just,
stipulation, I have no problem with it.
Well, if there's time, I mean, you can't wait a month, it's.
No, I can't wait a month.
Or when you set a dollar amount on it, do we really care if it's?
No. It's a
Well,
judgment.
you would set up something no more, if it's less than X.
That's what I'm
You go
wondering.
ahead and
More
do
than-
it, and if it's more than
Well-
X, then you could.
He can't just do it by himself. Everything that gets paid out of here still has to have, be multi-signed by people who are authorized to make those signatures.
Well, the
Nothing
bank
is-
will still advance into your account.
Yeah.
Right.
So the bank will advance, you just won't be doing anything.
That's right.
Well, yeah, if you set benchmarks for a contractor and he meets those benchmarks, he's gonna expect to get
He
paid.
wants his money,
Yeah.
and we have to be able to give
I
it.
think the city has experience with that.
We do. New York State's notorious.
If you have banks that will give you a line of credit,
Did you, I was very surprised.
that you may never use, but if you need it, you got it.
I was very surprised that the federal government was a lot quicker than the state. The federal government will pay within 2 weeks of the submission. But the New York State, it takes up to 45 to 60 days.
Yeah.
But the federal government, and the federal government doesn't mind multiple submissions. You can make multiple submissions in a single month. The state only makes one submission per month.
Of course they do. So we will.
I guess my only concern is that you're directing the two banks that it's from. I'd be more comfortable authorizing you to pursue two $500,000 lines of credit at typical rates and terms.
I'm sorry, okay.
I just,
You know,
I'm not comfortable directing you what bank to go to.
No problem.
You've
Mark,
already
motion.
spoken with these banks?
Yes. But I have no problem with that at all. And let me obtain the terms and conditions of your before. I have absolutely no problem with that at all. And let's make the motion.
Do you want to set an amount?
Basically, what it does is it's $500,000, obtain the credit, and then I'll bring forth
So,
the.
without identifying institutions.
I love that. I absolutely love it.
And that way, if you get 3 proposals or 4 or whatever, you just take
The best
the
one?
2 best.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So the resolution
I'll check over that.
would be to request the authorization of the executive director to obtain 2 $500,000 lines of credit at banks to be determined.
The typical rates and terms.
So from a minimum of 4 selections, or?
No.
I'll go out and get the 2 best ones.
And
I believe
You're gonna solicit from
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Given that direction, I'll go ask more.
You may not get 4.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Community bank probably would be more.
We don't know. They've not responded to some other requests.
Or MDT.
MBT might.
Yeah, MBT probably will.
Under what term?
Well, you know what? So be it. I mean, these are terms are presented, the terms,
What?
and, I mean, I'm not sure, MBT may not be competitive, but.
I so move.
Interest rate not to exceed prime plus 2. How's that? It won't.
Okay, the resolution then is specified as not, in terms not to exceed prime interest rate plus 2%.
I'll second the motion.
So yes, Mr. Stevens and Mr. Carroll. I presume you've got the essence, more than just the essence of the resolution.
Did I make it by amendment?
No, it's first rodeo.
You amended it, as amended
No,
by.
Well, we didn't really, it wasn't amended so much as we're just framing the resolution.
I guess it's my motion.
Yes.
Prime plus 2.
Okay.
That's the key part, prime plus 2.
No problem.
So the resolution was sponsored by Mr. Scriverhorn and seconded by Mr. Stevens. Any discussion, any further discussion? It's clear to everybody's mind. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstention? Unanimous? Motion is now in order to move into executive session for purposes of discussing personnel matters.
So moved.
Mr. Gill and Mr. Smith, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are unanimous. We are now in executive session.
This is throughout the country.
That's it.
Motion in order, gentlemen, to exit the executive session and the restored general session.
motion.
Second.
Mr. Coates, Mr. Smith, all in favor of resuming regular session?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? We are now back in regular session. Motion's in order to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Stevens, Mr. Carroll? All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned until our next meeting. Special meeting next week.